This is a CKX Pulse News Update.
Good evening. Federal Environment Minister Jean Charest was in Brandon today. He spoke at the Manitoba Association of School Superintendents Conference about a variety of topics from free trade to the new American administration. Charest said that there's mixed feelings about the results of the American election, but says he's pleased about Al Gore's strong conviction to the environment. While the first Liberal has made his bid to replace former Liberal leader Sharon Carstairs, 30-year-old Kevin Lamoureux has been in the legislature for 4 years and describes himself as a low-profile member of the Manitoba legislature. The former store manager has represented the North Winnipeg riding of Inkster since 1988. The forecast after this.
Hey, listen, Operation Sellout is underway. We're trying to sell every available ticket left for the Scott Tournament of Hearts, set for February 27th to March 6th, 1993. Weekly passes good for every draw are now available at your local curling club or the Keystone box office. Get your tickets for the Scott Tournament of Hearts now. Hurry, they won't last long.
Cloudy skies, scattered flurries, overnight lows about -6 degrees. Cloudy skies with occasional light snow for tomorrow, and daytime highs around -1. Similar conditions for Friday and the weekend. Overcast east at 20, 93%. Currently -3. Our next news update at 11 o'clock.
This is a CKX Pulse News Update.
Good evening, friends. The Anishinaabe Food Bank in Winnipeg has decided to start selling food to its inner city clients. Board member Lori Smith says she wants to help people become more self-reliant and also pressure governments to deal with poverty. She also feels that some of the poor people have become too dependent on free groceries. Federal Environment Minister Jean Charest visited Western Manitoba today. Charest was invited to speak at a provincial educators conference. But as Ann Phillip reports, environment and education were only a few of the topics discussed.
Federal Environment Minister Jean Charest's main purpose for visiting Brandon was to speak at the Manitoba Association of School Superintendents Conference. Conference organizers say Charest's broad background as former Minister of Youth corresponded nicely with the conference's theme of partnerships. He highlighted the need to strengthen the link between school and the workplace.
One of the things we rapidly realized is that Canadians are very attracted to anything associated with the co-op movement. It's true out here in Western Canada, it's true in Quebec. In fact, most Canadians think they invented the co-op movement, if you ask them, and thus the popularity of co-op education.
Charest fielded questions on everything from the Stay in School initiative to the North American Free Trade Agreement, but he ended his speech by saying a broader point of view has to be taken by government and educators to come to a mutual decision on how to address Canada's future problems.
And the partnerships have to be around the common objectives and the broad and the important issues of the day, not around who's responsible for what and this limited point of view of, you know, I'm in charge of this but not in charge of that, and thus I don't have any responsibility. If we're going to meet the challenges of the future, whether it's in education or environment, it's going to require that we also be able to agree on broad objectives and that we each contribute to meeting these objectives.
It's very clear that we need to proactively respond to how we might fit into this broad picture of what we need to do to remain competitive in regards to the world economy and to try to develop students who meet the challenges that they're going to face.
Ann Phillip, Pulse News.
Back with the weather right after this.
7:15 that evening was one of the good times.
Grab on to the good times. Vitality.
Cloudy skies with patchy freezing drizzle overnight, maybe a flurry or two. The overnight lows -6, light winds. For tomorrow, cloudy with occasional light snow, light southeasterly winds, and a high approaching -1. And the outlook for Friday, what you see is what you get. Right now, -3 degrees with overcast skies. Rob Thompson for Pulse News. Good night.